Jamps.com coming to you live on this lovely Thursday afternoon. It is 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern. Welcome to all of you who are joining us. I see Terry and Joanne and Sherry and Pam and Debbie and Trish and a whole bunch of you guys are joining us today. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hopefully, the projects that I have to share with you tonight are good. You never know. Honestly, there is one card. I'm not making this card because it was a total fail in my opinion. And I'm sure we've all done this. We've all made a card and we just looked at it and went, "Oh no. No, 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 no." That was the card that I made today, one of them. So I will definitely share it with you so you can see it. Yeah, it's like I had a vision in my mind, but it did not play out on the paper at all like I had envisioned in my mind. And I guess honestly, I don't really know what I envisioned in my mind, but what I made wasn't it. So I will share that with you because you might get a kick out of it, as I did as I put it all together. I was just looking at it and nope. So I had to come up with something else. And the card that I actually came up with is way better. So yeah. So I do have a teensy tiny bit of possible bad news. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of or suffered from something called adhesive capsulitis / frozen shoulder. If you've suffered from it, you know how awful it is. I had it about 11 years ago in both of my shoulders. Basically what it is it's not always explained. In my situation, I think I slightly injured my shoulders on a snowmobile. And what happens is then your shoulders start to create all of this scar tissue to protect the shoulders. And the scar tissue is very stiff and it's excruciatingly painful as your body goes through this process. From what I understand, sometimes you can try to stop it with therapy and possibly cortisone shots. I could not stop mine. And it got to the point where I was literally like a T-Rex walking around. I could not lift my arms, either one of them. My 10-year-old daughter had to style my hair. I couldn't put things away in the cupboard. Anyway, I woke up the other morning and my right shoulder is not great. And so I am a tad bit concerned about that because I had to sleep in a recliner for, oh, good Lord. The whole process from when I started feeling the pain until the pain was, the pain was gone and I could move my shoulders, I had about 95% mobility, was 22 months. It literally takes forever for this whole process to go. And fingers crossed, because I could hardly stamp. It was horrible. So anyways, yeah, it was 11 years ago. It was in July of 2011. I looked back on my blog because I couldn't remember how long ago it had been. And I'm just thinking, oh no, please, please, please. I do not want frozen shoulder again. I guess the upside, if I do have it, it appears that it's only in one. So I'd still have a good arm. So we'll just hope and pray that that's not what it is. And that maybe I don't know, slept on it wrong or something. So I don't know. So a funny little story about my son, because I always have funny little stories about my son. He's going to prom. He is going to prom with the girl who has peepers. How exciting is that? So I asked him the other day, I said, so what's the plan? Where are you guys going to dinner? Where, normally parents go somewhere after the kids eat or something, and take photos. I said, so what's going on? He said, well, I don't know. And I said, well, haven't the girls told you what's happening? And he says to me, we have to plan it. I said, we have to plan it? He's, yeah, me and Luke and Ryan have to plan it. And I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding me. 3 18-year-old boys are supposed to plan prom? Really? So I don't know what's going to happen. I said, if you want, I said, I highly doubt you're going to be able to find any restaurants where you're going to be able to make reservations at this point. I mean, prom is literally a week from Saturday. So pretty sure that's not going to happen. I said, if you want to have it here, if you want to have dinner here and then have everybody get ready here, that's totally fine with me. I'm happy to make some food and, whatever we need to do. I said, but you're going to need to give me some notice. I said, and I don't mean next Friday, the 6th of May, because the prom is the 7th. So we'll see what he does. I have no idea. So typical boy. I'm not typical boy. Typical my son, I guess I should say. I shouldn't group all boys into the same category as my silly boy, but typical my son. So there you go. Okay, everyone. I don't think we've had any. I'm just going to check the comments. Oh, you guys are talking about, some of you have had frozen shoulder. Oh, gosh, you guys. I am so sorry. I feel your pain. It is horrendous. Ugh. Yeah, the PT is horrible. The girl made me cry when I was in PT. I literally was sobbing, and she felt so bad because she made me cry because it hurt so bad. Yeah, I got cortisone shots, where they like jab the needle clear down into the, I don't even know, the depths of Hades to find the spot. I don't even know. But yeah, it's awful. I don't wish that on literally anybody. So it's one of those things that typically hits women between 40 and 60. So I'm right in there still. Yeah. Anyway, enough about my problems, because those are like seriously like, first world problems. You have a sore shoulder, big whoop. There's plenty of other horrible things going on in the world besides having a sore shoulder. So if it happens, it happens. The one funny thing I do remember about it is we were camping. We had gone on our family vacation, and we always would take snacks to the beach. And so I'd be sitting there, and my kids would say, "Mom, have you taken your I don't care pill yet?" The I don't care pill was a tramadol, which is a non-addictive painkiller, which didn't work at all, except it made you not care that it hurt. So that's where the name, the I don't care pill, came from. So they would say, "Mom, have you taken your I don't care pill?" And I would say yes. And they'd say, "Can we have Cheetos?" And then my answer would be, "I don't care." So they loved that. They loved the I don't care pills. Good times. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera because we have some cute projects to share. I have some cute projects to share with you, along with that project that I didn't like. And so let's get to it. All right, we will try to make this as seamless and painless as possible. Oh, goodness, I just about shut the whole thing down. Wow, that would have been just fantastic. That would have been fantastic. Okay, so we have the desk showing. We're good. Bring in all the goods. Oh, tramadol is reclassified, Denise says. Well, it never did. I never became addicted to it, but then I didn't take it. I took maybe 2 a day. It didn't work. All it literally did was literally make me not care that it hurt so bad. So there you go. That's what her kids did. Supper at a parent's house. Yeah, kids are funny. Kids are really funny. Yes, I hope it gets better too. We'll just keep our fingers crossed that I slept on it weird and that there's nothing wrong. So, all right. So as of right now, there are, let's see, the new catalog goes live on Tuesday, which means Monday is the last day that you can order anything from the last chance list. A lot of stamps have sold out, which kind of surprised me a little bit, honestly. I thought for sure it'd be like the DSP and the ribbons and all that stuff would sell out quickly, but there is a number of those items still available. So you can still get those items. You can go to my store, shoppingwithbarb.com, and you can always put in the search line if you're looking for something that's on the retiring list. And then that will let you know if it is still available or not. If it comes up that it couldn't find your item code, either you typed it in wrong or it's not available any longer. So just keep that in mind. A lot of things have sold out, but we still have a few days left. And so between, let's see, today, tomorrow, and Saturday is April 30th, I have a special going on. If you order $75 in my online store and use my host code, and ordering in my online store means you go to shoppingwithbarb.com, you put in all your item codes, you place your order with the host code, and I'm pretty much not involved, then I will send you these gems for free. So your order has to be at least $75 and you have to use the host code in order to get the gems. So just keep that in mind. They are beautiful, beautiful gems. They are Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, and Balmy Blue. And they're just beautiful. So I'm super excited about these. They're in the new catalog, and then I will mail those to you. I still have my product shares available. I will take reservations for product shares. Well, the cutoff for the freebie with the I Want It All is the 2nd of May, which is Monday. I'll order what I'm going to order, what I need, Tuesday. Sometimes I end up with extras, not always. So if you do want some product shares, definitely get in touch with me or fill out my link in the description of this video. You can click on the link and then buy the shares. Now, because I can't guarantee that I will still have shares available. So just keep that in mind. There's all kinds of them. There's the I Want It All, which is all the papers, all the ribbons, all the embellishments, that kind of stuff. There's just paper, just ribbon, just accessories. You can kind of mix and match and pick what things are going to work best for you. My In Color Club, I am still taking these orders for these. And yeah. Oh, Mary's asking me if she can still get the gems if you help me order. Mary, you'd have to forego your host benefits because that's all the orders go into the host benefits, which allows me to pay for the gems. So I'm happy to help you with your order, but no, then you wouldn't qualify for the gems. I hope that makes some sense because you would take the host benefits off your own order. Okay. In Color Club is, I'm filling up. I've got about 20 people in there so far, which is amazing. I'm super happy about that. So yeah, check it out if you're interested in it. It gives you a little bit, it gives you all of one color every month for 5 months. And then after 5 months, you'll have all the goods. Okay. We have our new catalog kickoff party, you guys. A lot of you that are watching me right now are already in the group. If you are a subscriber to Stamp Happy Academy, meaning you have a monthly subscription and you pay us every month, you get in the catalog kickoff for free. We have a very special guest that's going to be joining us one evening. I'm not going to say who it is, but you will love this special guest. So we're going to have more lives than we normally have. Normally we have 3 lives. This time we're going to have 7. So we'll have a lot more lives, which will be so much fun. And if you're not a Stamp Happy Academy subscriber, the cost is only $15. And then we do have a free PDF file for all members or all the people that get into the group. I think we've got, I don't know, maybe 370 people in there already, which is not anywhere close to the number of people that are in Stamp Happy Academy. So if you guys are subscribers to Stamp Happy Academy, check the events tab and get yourself into the kickoff group because it's free for you. Okay. All right. Ooh, my Dahlia Days online class has gone live. I'm mailing out all the kits tomorrow. I'm going to be emailing the PDF file out tonight probably. And then I will be loading this file onto the Stamp Happy Academy website also tonight. So it's an amazing class. If you guys do sign up for it, or if you're a Stamp Happy Academy member, I highly recommend watching the videos. It is a little bit difficult to write out instructions for these types of folds. The written word is a little bit more difficult to understand. It's a lot easier to understand what you're supposed to do when you see the video. So I highly recommend watching the videos. If you get the pre-cut cardstock kit, you will get all of your cardstock pieces pre-cut in there. You'll have to do a little bit of cutting of the designer series paper, but you will also need to have the designer series paper that doesn't come in the kit. So anyway, links are in the description of the video for that. Oh, I had to reorder all the stuff for my Honeybee Home class because you guys sold me out of these kits, which I was kind of surprised. I didn't really think it was going to be as popular as it is, but it's very popular. Thank you guys so much. So I do have these available again. The link is in the description of this video. The kit is $45. The kit plus the bundle $102.45. If you want to add the Hive folder, it's $11.25. All right, my tutorial library. I added a few more last week to this library, so you can check that out on my blog, Barb Stamp Star, or tinyurl/ oh, good Lord, you can read right here, because apparently words are hard for me right now. Stamp Happy Academy, we always have to talk about it because it's amazing, and we just love it. Dina was live today. She had some technical difficulties, but she's going to get that fixed. Technology, you got to love it or you got to hate it, but you got to work with it. It just is what it is. So the basic membership, 4 online classes a month, premium, basic plus the live onlys or just the live onlys. So you decide what works better for you, and there you go. And then adhesive kits. I always have adhesive kits for sale. They come in these adorable little pouches. You get glue dots, liquid glue, tear and tape adhesive, dimensionals, a seal. You get a little ruler, an adhesive eraser, and adhesive eraser and a sand eraser to erase those pesky ink spots that we sometimes get on our projects. And when the new catalog goes live, I'm going to add a couple sheets of the black dimensionals to the kit also. And there you go. All right. So I do have some show and tell. I have received a couple of cards from some of you. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. This first one is from Polly. Polly joined us for our spring retreat, and I believe Polly had a fantastic time because she did send me this nice card. And this is a very cute, very cool fold. So thank you so much, Polly. I appreciate that. And then I have a card here from Michelle. Michelle was the winner. A couple weeks ago, I had received a couple of stamp sets from a viewer. So again, thank you so much, Lisa. Or Lori. I think it was Lori. Good Lord. I'm old. I can't remember. She sent me some stamp sets and then I gave them away. And this was from one of the gals who actually got the Common Camellia stamp set. And she was so excited to get it. And I'm just happy that it could go to a good home. So thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate that. Lastly, I wanted to share something with you guys. This is a swap that I made in 2009. That was the year I earned my very first trip with Stampin' Up. Now, disclaimer, because the FTC requires it, earning the cruise takes a lot of work. So just let me say that right there. So this was my first one, my first cruise that I went on, and we had to do a 3D swap. And so I chose to do this. It's just like a little frame. And look at the picture of my cute little children. This little sweetheart is going to be 21 years old in June. And this little guy is graduating at the end of May. So hard for me to believe that this was 13 years ago that I went on my first trip. And yeah, so this was my little swap, my little 3D swap. How much fun is that? So there you go. Okay. Mary's asking, do I order this stuff separate from an SU order? What stuff are you talking about, Mary? I'm not sure what stuff you're talking about. Let me know. Okay, let me get out my first project bucket here. I think we'll go with this. Okay. So we are going to make a fun card. We're going to be using the Dahlia Days stamp set for this card. This is the stamp set that we featured in our online class this month, our fun fold. So it uses the Dahlia Days and, of course, the dies that go with this. But for this card today, I'm not using the dies. I'm just using the stamp set. Okay, so I have this. I'm also going to be using a retiring set called Best Year because it's one of my favorites and I can use it for a few more days before it retires. And now when I say that, it's because I am a business demonstrator, okay? So I do this is my job. And so it doesn't behoove me to demonstrate items to you guys that you can't purchase, okay? So that's why I say I can only use it for a few more days. If you have this, you can use it forever. So there you go. Let's see. Yes, Mary, all those things are totally separate from Stampin' Up's merchandise. So yes, you are correct. Those would be separate from Stampin' Up merchandise. Okay. All right. So what I have done so far is I had half a sheet of Mango Melody. Maybe I'll just do it here and I'll show you the whole process. Let me cut one in half really quick. Okay, so here is a half a sheet of Mango Melody. So you would fold this in half. Try to line it up, if you can see that is. There we go. So now you have your standard card base. Then what you're going to do is you're going to cut some of it off. So we bring in a trimmer. We would have the long edge at the top and we would slide this over to 5.5 and we would slice off this little section here, leaving us with 1.25 inches folded over. Okay. Then what you would do is you would take one of our border dies. So I used the one that's in the Tropical Layers set that's in the current mini catalog. So I used that so you can see. I just put the die very close to the edge of the cardstock there, and it will sit on your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine so that you can send it through just like this, okay? So you just have to be careful. You want to center it on the plates, and then you can just run it right through, and you will get this fun border. So, of course, I pulled out some other sets that have borders in them, so you could, if you don't have that particular stamp or that particular die set, here's some other ones. The basic borders dies, there are a lot of different borders in this particular set. The tropical layers is the one I just used. The Brilliant Rainbows has this long kind of scallopy rainbow edge, which would be pretty cool. And then our Scalloped Contours dies has this scallop edge. It's got a fairly large scallop. You can see they're pretty big, but we've got that too. So any of those would work for this what we're doing. So there's nothing special about it. You just cut it off and then crop it. So this is what you end up with. Okay. There we go. So then you would find yourself, like where are the rest of my papers? You would need to cut yourself a layer. It could be white or vanilla, whatever. I just have white. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 because we are going to stick it in there. And we're going to glue this flap down. So then this is going to now become the front of the card. Okay. But I want to decorate this piece first. Then I also have a layer for the inside, which I will go ahead and just glue in there right now. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, I think it's fine. I'm going to glue this in here right now. We'll see. I might be sorry. Barb, sorry. Heck no, that could never happen, right? Okay. So we're going to do some stamping on this layer here. And now if you were with me last week, I did talk about the new masking paper that's going to be in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. And I believe I said it was on page 149. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. So I did fussy cut all of these out of masking paper last week before I went live. So I basically just stamped this large flower that's in this stamp set on the masking paper and I fussy cut it out. And then as I was making my card, which was this card right here, because I was overlapping all these flowers and then I wanted to add the leaves. And so you need to use the masked pieces. Well, to do the leaves, I have discovered that it doesn't really matter that the points are lined up in the exact position. So that made me super happy because that can be, I need a scratch paper. That can be a little bit difficult to constantly have to put them in, put it on there so that it's exactly right or whatever. Is that seal or seal plus? And how do you choose it? This is a seal. This is just a standard seal. This is my go-to. I have really good luck with this. I learned a trick. Oh, mine's just empty here. I got a refill ready to go. From Beck Ross, who is a UK demonstrator, to teach people how to use it. And her way to use it was, let me find a scrap in here. I'll kind of show you what she says. She says to take the seal and, you just barely put any pressure on it. Well, I guess, and there's some on there. You just put a little bit of pressure on it and then you tip it up and push it off. And then it will come off really nicely each time you use it. And I have really had good luck with her trick. At first, I was a little frustrated by this stuff, but once I watched her video and was using her trick, I have had no issues with this whatsoever. Now, Seal Plus is a little bit heavier duty adhesive. So if you were like making boxes or something like that, you might want to use this. There is a little tiny bit of a downside to this that I've noticed in that it can tear your paper. So you really have to use a very light touch with it. Like just barely put it to your paper and then the adhesive will come off nicely. So you definitely don't want to have a heavy hand with this. Seal Plus I don't use very often. Let's just say that. I mostly use the seal and then the liquid glue depending what I'm doing. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay. Back to our flowers. So we are going to ink up the flower. Mostly, did you see that? I just stuck my hand right in there. Who does that? Why did I do that? I opened up the pad and I went to move it and literally stuck my, Is that how it's going to be tonight? Is that how it's going to be? I certainly hope not. Okay, I'm trying to keep my masking papers out because I'm going to need to use them. Okay, so I also have some Mango Melody and a sponge dauber. And Kathy's laughing at me. Stop it, Kathy. Oh my goodness. Like seriously, what happens? Okay, so I'm going to ink it up to begin with in the So Saffron because this is a lighter color. And then I'm going to get some ink on my sponge dauber and I'm just going to kind of go around the edges a little bit with the mango. I'm going to huff on it, and then I'm going to stamp it on my paper. So about like that. That is a little more mango than I actually wanted, but I'm going to leave it just because, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'll flip it over and start over. That was a brand new sponge dauber. And so I did get a little heavy-handed. So we're going to try this again. Okay, so I'm going to gently add a tiny bit of ink because I just want a tiny bit on there to kind of get it up. There, much better. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of cheat. And I'm just going to kind of twist it onto my paper to kind of get the mango off the edges. And then I'm going to do that again. So again, I'm just going to kind of gently add, because I just want to add just a tiny bit. I just feel like it just gives the flowers just a little bit more dimension and interest is why I like to do this. And I like to, oh my goodness, did you see what I did? I'm going to have to cover that up with a leaf. I need to quit talking. That's the problem. Stamping and talking at the same time is apparently too much for me. I can't handle it. All right. We'll see if we can master this stamping and talking now. Focus, Barb. Focus. And now I'm getting some of the ink off my dauber. You know, I haven't stuck my dauber back in my ink yet. So, because I felt like I had enough. Okay, that was probably a little bit of an overkill there. I'm actually going to take some of the ink off that. And we're going to start this again. Just barely. And then I'm going to stick one right here, I think. Okay, so now we have our flower stamped. So now I have two little kind of leafy images. One of them's like, I don't know, maybe teeny tiny little flowers or something. Then the other one is definitely a leaf. And here's where what I was telling you will come in. Okay, so here's one of my little masked flowers, my little masking pieces. And this paper, you guys, is amazing. You are going to love this. On Tuesday, you should get to the store and order it immediately. You're going to love it. So I'm going to use Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to start with this little kind of foliage piece. Now, I have discovered that if I just pick any spot and I just stick it down, because you always want to make sure you leave a little bit. I'm going to pull this up, leave a little bit of the image showing. And then you can just stamp and it will work out really good. And then look. And I didn't even like try to put it on there perfectly. I just decided I didn't really care. And I'm just kind of winging it. So a lot of my leaf is showing. And I found this little thing, and I'm actually stamping it off once just because I think it's kind of fun to be stamped off. And see, that's actually working so much faster. And yeah, it's not perfect, but I honestly don't really feel like anyone's going to notice. Like anybody that you gave this card to, they would not be looking at the card going, oh my gosh, can you believe that she didn't mask that perfectly? No one's going to notice that. All they're going to notice is that you have given them a fantastic, beautiful card. And we'll do this again because I want a leaf to go right here. And this little guy, I think I'm actually going to turn it to the side, just a hair on that one. There we go. So this isn't working out quite as well as I had planned, but it's going to be fine. And we'll do one kind of facing that way. Maybe I'll do it really to the side that time. But yeah, I was messing around with this afternoon and I was like, oh my gosh, that is working out pretty well. I'm not mad at it at all. And I do have to give you guys a little tip about this masking paper. It is a different kind. It's not like cardstock or anything like that. So I have discovered that the ink doesn't always dry super quickly on it. You can probably see that it's kind of shiny. So just be mindful of that and don't stick your fingers on it, you know, where you have the ink, because you might not be happy. You might not be very happy. Okay. There we go. So much fun. Okay, so then there's another little stamp in this. It's a little flower trio. And I'm going to kind of fill in some of the spots where we don't have any leaves. That's what I'm trying to say. Words are hard. You're probably wondering if I've taken an I don't care pill today. The answer is no, I have not. Okay, so now I'm going to slide this in and I'm going to sort of close it up and see, do I need to add anything anywhere else? And honestly, I think it looks pretty good just the way it is. Okay, so I'm going to be done with my stamping, at least this portion of the stamp. Well, no, I need to stamp a sentiment. I need a scrap of white. Did I cut myself a scrap of white? No, I did not. Here's one. So I chose a sentiment out of this best year stamp set, and this one says, wishing you your best year yet. And I'm going to ink that up in mango, and I'm going to stamp it on my scrap. And then I'm going to bring in this tailored tag punch. This is still available. It's actually 20% off on the last chance list, and so you can still get this if you like it. So I'm going to use the white, and then I'm going to do this. Okay. So I'm going to cut that in half, and what that's going to do for me is that's going to kind of create a layer. So like it's going to almost appear like I had a, hold on, I got a glue booger, that I had this tag punch and another size. That's what I'm trying to say as I'm trying to get this glue to come out. Okay. So I'm going to stick this on, but I'm going to leave just a tiniest bit of a border, which is then going to appear like, and I think I did this exact same thing last week with my Dahlia card, because when things are retiring, it really brings it into my mind again about, how amazing they were. And so, yeah, we got to use them while we can, I guess. Okay, so we have that, and let me, oh, you know what? I knew I shouldn't have put that inside the card yet. All right, well, again, Barb, and always screwing things up. So I am going to now share a tip with you. I need a piece of paper. Oh, come on. There we go. So I want to stamp something in the corner, but I don't want it to get on my mango layer, so I'm going to cover that up. So I just kind of tucked my pieces of paper underneath there. And that way I can add a little gem down here in the corner. And I can do the same thing by adding some of the leaves. And I'm just kind of turning this just a bit just to get the best placement. And get a little bit of that. Oh my gosh, that was like upside down. That's hilarious. Well, we're going to just come in, and I don't think anyone's going to really notice. There it is. Okay, so the inside's done. The inks, we're all done with this. So now I'm going to tie my ribbon around, and you can do it. You can do this one of two ways. I don't like my ribbon to show on the inside of the card if I can help it. And I'm a crappy ribbon tire as far as tying ribbon on cardstock. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to wrap my ribbon around this layer before I glue it down. So I'm going to tie a bow. This is the white crinkled seam binding ribbon. This is actually the ribbon that will come in your class kit if you buy this kit from me. There we go. And the reason I'm tying it around this is because if it doesn't lay completely flat and all that good stuff, it doesn't matter because I can fix it on the back, which I believe I'm going to have to. So bear with me here. So my ribbon is not super tight. You can see it's kind of floppy. I don't like that. So first of all, I'm going to slide it over to where I want it to be. I want it to be over here in the corner. Okay. And then I'm going to open up my card, and I'm going to center my ribbon. And then I'm going to add a little piece of tape. Okay. Then I'm going to snip it off. I'm going to bring another piece of tape. So I'm going to center it over here, and you can see the gap. It's just a tiny bit of a difference, but that tiny bit of excess ribbon makes all the difference in the world as to how tight your ribbon is on your card. And so now it's nice and tight. I'm happy. It's happy. Everyone's happy. Okay. So because I have ribbon on there, I am going to use liquid glue just because for me it's easier. So I'm going to put glue on this little panel here. And I'm going to be, fairly generous, even though my beads of glue are very skinny. I am putting a fair amount of glue on there. Then you want to bring your piece in. You want to line it up because it should be the same size. Did you hear that? Should be. And then we're going to close this on top of that layer. There we go. Okay, and then, oh, what is that? Oh, that. Remember when I didn't like that and I had to do it on the other side? Oh my gosh. Ooh, someone said the NFL draft is on. Wow, that's cool. Or it's happening. Okay, so I'm not really happy about that. Not really happy about that at all. So I think what I might do is I might add another layer of white because that's gonna bother me. That's gonna bother me. It probably doesn't bother anybody else. I am a little weird when it comes to things like that, but that's gonna bother me. So I'm gonna add another layer in here. So normally you wouldn't have to do this. Okay, so here's another tip for you guys. You can't. You can't. Kathy says DSP. I mean, maybe. But I don't have a piece of DSP right here, but I do have a piece of white cardstock. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. That's just typical of what would happen to me. Okay. There it is. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. We do need to add our little layer here that has our phrase on it. So I'm going to use some. Oh, Katie says, know that your mistake tips shared have saved my projects 100 times over. Please keep making mistakes. Katie, you can be guaranteed that I will continue making mistakes. There is no doubt in my mind that that will continue to happen because that's just how it happens. And it always happens when I'm live. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, we'll just flip that over. That's no big deal. Yeah, wrong. Okay. So I did want to have a little tiny flower middle in these little teeny tiny flowers. Ooh, no, wrong end. So I've got an early espresso marker here, and I am just going to add a little dot to the center of these tiny little flowers just to kind of give them, I don't know. I just feel like they needed to have dots in the middle of them. So I'm just going to quickly add some dots here. And then the last thing I'm going to add is we have these fun little gems. These are the in color gems, the current in colors. What are these? The fresh freesia and the polished pink and the papaya, all those good things. And so I discovered that these little pale papaya gems work really well with the So Saffron and the mango. So they're 20% off right now until they are no longer available when the catalog is done. So if you don't have any or you love gems, you might want to go grab some out of the store while they're still available. Oh, look at that. We have a little smudgy there. So we'll just cover that up. Was there something else I was going to cover up? Some other little mistake that I made? I mean, probably. Honestly, look who we're talking about here. Okay. So we just have a little bit of bling. We have our fun inside and our ribbon. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that and learned something. Oh my girl. Oh my word. Yeah. Okay. So let me go ahead and clean up. Actually, I'm going to bring this other card in just for some inspiration in case you guys weren't here last week. This is another card using the dahlias. And I just love that flower. It's just really pretty. And this is in the current mini catalog. So this will be available through the end of June. And I'm going to get this sponge dauber out of the way because, look, I now have mango ink all over my hand. So I'm going to use my chamois and wipe off my hand too, because if I don't, well, I'm sure we all know what's going to happen if I don't. Okay, I need to put all this stuff back in the bucket. And then we can move on to another card where I will possibly share some more mistakes with you. I mean, honestly, with what's been going on here today, it's pretty much guaranteed that there'll be some more mistakes. So there'll be more opportunities for learning. Okay, I am going to clean off my stamps really quickly because I hate sticking them back in the bucket when they are dirty, because then I end up getting it all over my hands or all over something else that's in there, and then I pick it up and it's always just a mess. Okay, so let's move these out of the way, and now we will bring in our next project, which is using the iconic dies. The iconic dies are a set of dies in the current catalog. These are actually retiring. That does not have, it's not part of a bundle. So it's just a set of dies. And there's some very interesting things here. We've got a fern leaf. We've got 2 mushrooms. We've got a solid leaf and a detailed leaf. We've got a cute little bird. We've got a couple of flowers, another little flower trio, a bee, you know me and bees, but it's a bee, and then a little branch for our little bird friend to sit on. So I did use these dies a number of months ago, and I created an online class with them, and I still have a few kits left. So of course I'm going to shamelessly plug my class because it's amazing. And I used the ombre glimmer paper in the class. So these are the cards that are actually in the class. So if you do purchase the class kit, you'll get all the supplies. Here's a kit. You'll get all the supplies to make these amazing cards, including the ombre paper that I will bring in right now, because it is also on the last chance list, and it is 20% off. So it's $8. There are 4 sheets, and they are ombre, yellows, kind of poppy parades, the purples, and the blues. So the paper is beautiful, and it just makes the cards so much fun. Like, this is my most favorite card, I think, out of the whole class. And look at those fern leaves, how pretty they are. Like, this one is the dark end of the paper. This one's a little bit lighter. It's just really, it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to use that. So first, let me show you the card that did not make the cut. Okay, are you guys ready? Is everybody prepared? You're sitting down. You're thinking, oh my gosh. Okay, here it is. This is it. I don't know what I had in mind in my brain about what it should look like, but this is not it. So this was a fail for me today. So I'm not making this card for you. I'm going to make something else, something better. So that's the fail. We're going to do something better. Okay. So we are going to be using black cardstock again. And this time we're going to pair it with some gorgeous grape. Okay. And then I did die cut some flowers out of the different areas of the glimmer paper. So I've got a purple flower, and I've got the kind of poppy-ish color. And then I have the yellow. And then you can see I did die cut some of these small little flowers. Oh my gosh, some of you guys are saying you like it. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, because I don't like it. So these are just taken out of the different areas of the paper. And I thought, you know what, let's just make a card and just throw the flowers on this black layer, because I feel like the black really makes this glimmer paper pop. It's really pretty. And so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to shake those off a little bit here first, because I do need to stamp a little sentiment here. And I'm going to do that in, I'm going to emboss it in white. So the first thing I want to do is bring in Stampin' Up! Used to call this an embossing buddy. I don't know what it's actually called, but they do have these on Amazon, and I do have a link to it in the description of this video if it's something you don't have. It is a pretty integral part of heat embossing. You definitely want to use something like this, and what it is an anti-static bag. And so if you just kind of tap it on your paper and then just kind of rub it around, that will take the static away from that area, and then you can stamp and put your embossing powder on and hopefully not make a mess. So I've got a sentiment stamp here out of the Boughs and Blossoms stamp set. This is in the mini catalog. And just add some on the top of the bow. You guys are giving me some good things to think about how to fix that. Or I might just not fix it at all. I don't know. So I'm using the Thank You. I really like the fonts in this set. And this is a nice little set in the mini catalog. It is not going to carry over into the big catalog, just as a little tip for you. But it will be available through the end of June. or while supplies last. I have no idea how they're going to do that, but I really like the font. So I'm going to use the thank you. And so I'm going to ink it up in Versamark, because when you're doing your embossing, you need a Versamark pad. So we will ink it up in this. Oh, Dolly, you're so sweet. Dolly says to give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up for my ugly card. And when I use Versamark, my theory on it is you ink it up until you think you have enough ink on your stamp, and then add some more, because you can't ever have too much. Okay, so I want it kind of down here in this area. Make sure it's not going to be upside down. And I am going to kind of try to line this up just a tad and stamp it. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to bring in this little tray. This is also something that Stampin' Up! Used to sell. They don't any longer, but you can get them on Amazon. I do have it linked below. It's called well, Stampin' Up! Called it a powder pal. Today, people use them to do beading, to do beadwork, like to make bracelets and whatnot. I also find it very helpful. I need to find a paintbrush. Hold on here. I'm trying to reach with my bad shoulder. And so you can see that my embossing buddy did a really great job. There are just a couple of spots, like I think I touched ink there. But other than that, look at that. There's like no stray pieces of powder anywhere, which is what you want, because when you're embossing, you don't want a bunch of stray powder pieces getting in the way. So I would just tap this back into the container, and then I can put the lid on, and then I would heat set this. And I hate heat setting stuff when we're live, but maybe we'll do it. So everyone plug your ears, because heat embossing is loud. There it goes. My favorite thing about it is watching it melt. Okay. Sorry about that. Like I said, it's so loud, but it's necessary. You've got to do it. Okay, so we have our sentiment on there. And now we're just going to add the flowers. So I kind of thought that I'd put the yellow one in the middle-ish. And I should have used our adhesive sheets, and I didn't. So I'm going to bring in my little bottle with my fine tip on it. This is also something you can get on Amazon. It does come with a little pin that you can stick in there. And it has a super fine little metal tip on it here. And so I am just kind of going around adding a tiny bit of glue to the edges here. And I'm not worried about getting every single spot covered with glue. I don't think that that's entirely necessary. I'm just kind of going around it, and as I'm doing that, glue is coming out and getting on some spots and not on others. Okay. So I thought I might stick this, maybe something along these lines. There we go. Oh, great. Thank you, Sherry. She says she appreciates my Amazon links. Well, I appreciate you guys ordering through my links. I do make a tiny bit of money off of that. Enough to buy like a bag of candy that I will gladly eat while I am creating more fantastic projects for you. So there you go. It's just that, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell everything. I understand that. I mean, I'm not oblivious to the fact that there's a million things out there. And there are just some things that a crafter needs. And so there you go. Okay, so then this little guy, I'm going to kind of overlap this one just a tiny bit. There we go. And then we'll bring in the red. Oh, good. Teresa says she's ordered the bottles and she likes them better than the first one. Good. Yeah, and I didn't have any trouble filling them. I did have somebody ask me on one of my videos about if I had trouble filling them, and I honestly did not have any trouble filling this up. It just uses our regular liquid glue, and I filled it up, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of the way when I filled it up the first time, because I didn't know, how much I'd want in there, because I hadn't ever used one of these before. And yeah, it was very easy to fill it up. And yeah, and I don't use it all the time. It's like I've mentioned before in other videos, it's like your husband's garage and all the tools that he has. He doesn't use every tool he has every single day, right? And you're not going to use every single tool that you have every single day. But boy, when you need a tool, you need it. There we go. Oh, Joan says this is her first time here and she loves Stampin' Up. She's from Ontario, Canada. Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy it and you actually learn some things. I typically make a lot of errors as you, if you go back and watch the video, you will see me make a grand mistake. Well, actually more than one. And I do try to share my mistakes, and then I can show you how to fix them because I make quite a few. Not that that's something I'm proud of, mind you. It is what it is. Actually, you know, I'm going to put, I think, some glue on these little flowers, and then I'm going to add them rather than put a flower down and get the glue and put the flower and get the glue. So, oh, come on. They want to stick together. There we go. We'll just keep, and I think I'm going to use all of these flowers. I guess I'm going to now if I'm sticking glue all over them, huh? Another thing I really like about this little bottle is I like this metal tip. I think I said that, didn't I? Yeah, it's just really handy. And I like the pin. I find that the pin works pretty good. And somebody said if you don't use a stainless steel pin that your glue can end up looking, it can get discolored. I haven't had any issues with mine yet. I don't know if it's a stainless steel pin or not. I have no idea. If all it does is just discolor my glue, I don't know as though I'm going to care that much about that. So there you go. And let's see, maybe a yellow one over here. And then what's this? Another little red one. Yeah, maybe over here. Or maybe over here. Yeah. So this is have a nice smooth tip at the end. I don't know exactly what that means. It's a little tiny metal tip. It just, you can pull it off. You can unscrew it basically if you want. So it does have like a plastic tip underneath here. And then you just kind of screw that back on. But yeah, I really like it. And then, like I said, it comes with this little pin. Not that you don't have a pin at your house. You probably do that you could use. But anyways. Oh, you can order the tips by themselves. Great. That's a great tip, Sue. Okay. So here we have our fun, glittery, beautiful flowers all over the place. And now I brought these out. I don't know if I want to use them or not. I'm thinking no. I think there's enough going on this without that. So we're just going to leave it with no embellishments. I kind of feel like this glitter paper is embellishment enough. It's just so pretty and so sparkly. And I love the fact that it's the ombre. I really like the ombre part of it. Okay, so get that. Oh, I should get my layers. My black layer here is 3 3/4 by 5. And then my gorgeous grape layer is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals to add my layer to my card base. And I always use 5 because you don't want it to sag in the middle. A saggy card is a no-no. We don't want a saggy card. And then I'm going to have to kind of see if I can center this. My phone is like right in the line of my view, so hopefully I got that. I think I did. Okay. There. Yeah, that is a fun card. This paper is just so much fun. So anyways, okay. Oh, you know what? I do have these little guys. These are clear. I wonder how a clear thing would look. Hold on. I just want to see. If I did a, like maybe one of these little raindroppy guys. Where are they at? Here's some. What if, use my take your pick tool to get these little guys off. What if we just sort of randomly added, I don't know. Is that, again, I'm thinking no. I think I need to just leave it. Oh no. I should have done my trick of keeping it on the sheet and then laying the sheet on here. Oh, I got it off. Okay. Phew. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. Oh, I would, before I mail it out to somebody, I will actually add a piece of white to the inside so I can write a message on it. I don't have a piece of white right here, so I'm not going to do that. But let me put these away. I'll leave that out for you to look at because it actually turned out really well. I'm pretty happy about it. Okay, let me put my dies back in the container so that I don't lose any of them. Okay. Yeah, the teardrop ones, they work really well with the Rain Boots bundle. You know, Sue, if you have that Rain Boots bundle, It works really well with that. I've actually done it where you can like put 5 of them points together to like make a little flower. That's really fun. And then I've also just like stuck them in a corner, you know, like put 3 of them in a corner, just as like a little, like a flourish kind of thing. And I've had decent luck with that. At least I have felt like my projects looked, you know, they looked nice. So hopefully that is hopefully that's a good tip for you. Okay. Let me put this over here so I can bring it back later. And then our last card, shameless plug for my In Color Club, in case you didn't hear me in the beginning of the video, or you're still on the fence. I am taking signups for it. It's a 5-month deal. Every month you would get the stamp pad, the refill, the Stampin' Write marker, some designer series paper, cardstock, the ombre glimmer paper. You would get the baker's twine, the metallic ribbon, and some of the dots every month. For 5 months, and then you'll have all the new In Color stuff. So the link is in the description of this video if you're interested. Oh, you also get some of the tea cards. Not tea party. I keep wanting to say tea party. That's not right. Anyways, I don't know what they are, but you get some of those too. Okay, so we're going to use brand new stuff, you guys. It's time, because the new catalog goes live on Tuesday. I won't see you before that. So here's a little sneak peek of what's going to be something in the new catalog. First off, we have the Stylish Shapes dies. These are pretty cool. They put like tiny little polka dots. I'm going to pull out this thing I have. Tiny little polka dots. Thank you. The Tea Boutique cards. Thank you, Teresa. It puts little tiny dots. So where we used to have some stitched shapes dies that put like actual stitching lines, these are just little tiny polka dots. Okay, so there is a difference if you're wondering. There are 6 circles, 5 squares, and 4 banners in this. And it's just going to be a fantastic set to add to your arsenal. Okay, now another little tip that I do, a lot of times when I die cut stuff, I get like little bits of paper on the edges. So if you take one of these little sanding blocks and just kind of go around the edges, it will take off all of those little rough bits, and then you'll have a nice smooth edge. I can't remember if I have this linked below. If I don't have it linked below, I do have a link to my crafty favorites on my blog, and it'll be there. It's what is it called? The snow block is what this is called. A lot of you girls that may get your nails done, your nail technicians might use something like that. It's the same kind of thing. Okay. Then we're going to use the Cup of Tea bundle, which is the Cup of Tea stamp set, and the teacup dies. So cute. And actually what I'm going to make for you today is a swap card that I just got done making and mailing out because I needed a project and it was fresh on my mind. So we are going to be using a few new In Colors. I've got the Starry Sky here, the Tahitian Tide. Oh, thank you, Sherry. She said it is listed below. And then the Parakeet Party. Those are the 3 colors that I'm going to be using on this card. So I have your standard card base. I have a layer for the inside. This will eventually become 1 inch by 4 1/4, and this is 1/2 inch. It will eventually become 4 1/4 when I stick it on the front. Okay. So I need to do a little bit of stamping. I need a scratch. Did I throw my scratch paper out or did I stick it in a bucket? Oh, it's on the floor. Well, how handy is that? Okay, so the first thing I want to do is stamp a little something on this Tahitian Tide strip. And so I'm going to bring this little kind of foliage image in from the stamp set. And I've got my Tahitian Tide ink. And I am just going to, actually, I'm going to cut this first. I think I want it to be a little shorter. I just grabbed a scrap out of my drawer, but I think it's a little bit too long. And I need it to be just about 4 1/4 so that this works. So I'm going to stamp on one end. And then I'm going to stamp on the other end. Okay, so that's all we've done so far. We've just added a little bit of detail to this strip. And then I'm going to bring in some liquid glue here, and I'm just going to add a little bit along the edge. I feel like I got a glue booger in there. And we're going to line this up on this piece of Parakeet Party, just so we have a little bit showing. Like that's about, I don't know, what, 1/8 of an inch maybe? Something like that. Okay, so we have that done. Then I have set up some of the stamps on my Stamparatus. And what I did here, because like I said, I did this as a swap, so I had to make a lot. I think I made 20 of them. So I needed a way to stamp and die cut quickly. So what I did was I had this piece of white paper and I stuck it into my Stamparatus. I shoved it up into the corner, all that good stuff. Used my magnets, and then I placed my stamps on this piece of white paper, closed my lid, and picked them all up. Okay. So then I inked up my stamps. I stamped them again. I removed this from my Stamparatus, took it over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and was very, very meticulous about lining the dies up over the images and using my Post-it tape to keep them in place. And then I die cut them out. So they're pretty darn close to being perfect. Nothing's perfect. I'm not perfect, but they're pretty close. So now all I have to do when I want to, at least for the moment while I'm still using this stuff, is just die cut what I call a blank. This is a blank. And you just drop it right into that little space. I've got a blank here of this little flower. And I got to figure out how it goes. I think it goes like that. Yep. Okay, so I've got the cup and the flower. And I'm going to now ink up the images. And so I'm going to kind of cover up these other images because I don't need them and I don't want to get ink on them and then have them get onto my pad that's under here since I don't have a blank in there. Keeps changing to books. Oh, funny. Mary's trying to say boobs. Why are you trying to say boobs? Oh, I got it. You're funny, Mary. Okay, so we are going to ink up the flower and the teacup. And now I can get this out of the way. And then I'm going to stamp these. I need my little presser tool. This is a little tool that I made from an old cookie press. Stampin' Up! Used to sell cookie press items, and this was an old cookie press handle. I added some felt. If you don't have one of these and you do want to use one of these little guys, I do have them linked below. They're basically air hockey pushers, and so they are linked below. All right, let me lift that up. Oh, you know what? I didn't get this tiny little corner up here, so I am going to ink my cup up again, just in that little corner, and we'll stamp it and we'll press it down. And there we go. So we have our little cup here, pretty good. And then our little flower. I'm going to punch that out and scoot it around. So now that's what I have. And let me put my scratch paper in there. So there we go. Get that out of the way. Oh no, I just lost my flower. I think I threw it on the floor. Oh, come on. Does anybody see it? Oh, I have 2 teacups here. There's a spare in case I screwed one up. All right, seriously. I just moved some stuff and I lost my flower. And I don't have another one. You left the flower on the Stamparatus, did I? Let's look. I thought I got it. Oh, thank you so much. Jeez, I tell you. Okay, we have everything we need. I also die cut this little tiny tag. It's another little die that's in the stamp set because I need to stamp a little tiny sentiment on it. There is this itsy bitsy teensy tiny little stamp, and it says, I just can't thank you enough. So I'm going to try to stamp this on this straight. Again, this camera is like right in my line of vision here. So let's hope oh, that's like I think I pressed way too hard. You know what I probably need? I probably need a little foam pad. So let me ink that up again carefully. And let me try this again. That's the bad side. That's the good side. That's better. Okay. Try not to lose that. All right, so we're getting our stamping done. I do need to clean off my little foliage piece because we are going to stamp some foliage on the inside of the card, but in a different color. We're going to use the Parakeet Party for that. So let me get that here. And I just kind of wanted to stamp it on the bottom here. So let me get that. And maybe I should bring in my foam pad. All right, so we're going to stamp this just right down here towards the bottom. So cute. And then I think I'm going to use Starry Sky. This is, these new colors. I just, there's not, obviously all of the colors eventually grow on me. Okay. I do end up loving all of them. But at first glance, when Stampin' Up! First released these colors, I was, oh my gosh, here I go again, talking and not paying attention. Let's see if we can, does anybody think I can do this? I don't know. No. If you all thought I could do this, you were wrong. Start over. Anyway, I love all of these colors, and I don't always love them all. They always have to grow on me, but these colors did not have to grow on me at all. I loved them all immediately. So if you're on the fence about whether you want to get them, you do, because they're amazing. I guess that's it if you like bright, fun colors. If you don't like bright colors, you probably won't like it that much. But okay, we also have this little kind of flourishy piece that was in the set. And I am going to stamp it a few times in the corner here. So I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to stamp it like directly out from the corner, and then kind of a partial on the side and a partial on the bottom, just to give a tiny bit of interest to the front of the card. All right, I need to put this ink away before I end up sticking my finger in. Oh, I know. Kim says that's why paper has a backside. That is for Barb. It's for Barb. It's literally only for Barb. No, I'm sure it's not just for me. I'm sure we've all done that before. Okay, so let me stick this in here. And you notice I always flip my card upside down and kind of backwards. It's because I'm a right-handed person. And if I don't do it like this, I can see a lot better if I flip my card around like that. I know, it probably doesn't make any sense. A lot of things I do don't make any sense. They make sense to me. So that's all that really matters, right? Okay, so now I'm going to line this up, and I'm going to use my grid paper to do this. So I am going to add some glue to it. I think we're going to use liquid glue. That way, if I have to wiggle it around a little bit, I will be able to. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to line my card fold up on one of the dark lines here, and then I'm going to line my top up at a top line. And then I'm going to use these lines to put my paper down. Hold on, I got to cheat just a tiny bit because I have one already made and I want to figure out where I'm going to put it. So I'm lining it up so I have the paper right there and then right in the middle of that layer right there, or that line right there. So hopefully that is good. And then I need to bring in some paper scissors, not ribbon scissors, and I need to trim that excess off of that edge and this edge. Oh, and we're still watching the Love Boat, you guys. Yep, we are really enjoying watching the Love Boat. I've just been getting a real kick out of it. Seeing all those stars that I used to watch on shows when I was a kid, it's just been a lot of fun. Okay, so then I'm going to take my circle and I'm going to put it on the card in the center of my little whatever I made here. And see, so that way, because I added to both ends, I don't have to put anything in the middle because my circle is going to cover up that spot in the middle where there isn't any foliage stamped, okay? Then we need to do some coloring. I'm going to try to do this quickly. And I know how, I guess maybe for you guys it's not boring. I just feel like it's boring watching people color. And I always feel bad because it's like, oh, I got to color this and it's going to take me a few minutes. But I've had some of you say you don't mind watching people color. So I'm going to take you at your word and hope that you don't. I'm not really even coloring. I'm mostly just marking. I'm just like putting a line on most of these little these leaves because they're fairly thin. And I feel like if you go back and forth over it a whole bunch, then you're going to end up bleeding outside the lines. So I'm just using, single swipes of the marker, and I'm using the bold tip, not the brush tip. There we go. And then I'm going to color the cup, the blue here, the light Tahitian Tide. So that was the light Parakeet Party. And now I'm using the light Tahitian Tide. And I find that if I rotate my piece around while I'm coloring it, that helps me. And I am going to kind of draw lines out from the centers of these leaves. Hopefully that will help keep me in the lines. We'll see. I'm not the world's best colorer. Part of the problem is I don't see great. I mean, yes, I've had 2 cataract surgeries and I have glasses and all that stuff, but I don't know, ever since my first cataract surgery, and not that the surgeries were bad and the surgeons did a bad job. No, that's not even what I'm saying. I think it's just me. The older you get, things just don't work the way they did when you were younger. So I just kind of feel like my eyes just are never going to be, like they were when I was 20. So I try to be careful, and I find for myself just doing strokes rather than actually coloring, for me, it works a lot better, and I'm able to stay in the lines a lot better. Because with a lot of these alcohol-based markers, the more you lay down, the more they bleed out. And so I don't want any of that happening. I just wrote on myself. So there you go. So now I have a Tahitian Tide on my finger. Yay, me. Oh, goodness. I should have done this. I'm sorry, you guys. I forgot that I'd have to color this and how long it takes. It takes a long time when you're coloring 20 of them, too. But it actually is kind of a relaxing thing. I mean, I just sit here with my lights on, and sometimes I'll put some reading glasses on because then I can see even a little bit better. You know how that is. There, and all of my blabbing, and now we're done. Yay. Okay, so we have our flower. Oh, no. Did anybody see where my tag went? My little teensy tiny tag. Did anybody see what I did with that? Oh, come on. This is not my day. Oh, and I don't have another one, and I need it. Good grief. How do things get lost, you guys? I mean, seriously. It was literally just here 5 seconds ago, and now it's gone. Well, I guess I'm going to steal it off of this other card that I have here. So hold, please, while I steal it off this card, because I'll find it. I mean, as soon as I'm done here, I'm sure it's going to show up, because that's how stuff works. Ugh, get off. Now I'm destroying it. Oh, come on. There. Okay. Here's the tag. So then I thought it would be kind of cute if we pretended it was like a tea bag hanging out of the cup. So I've got our Essentials Baker's Twine pack here with all of those neutral kind of goodies. And then we have glue dots. Here we have glue dots. So I'm going to add a glue dot to the back of this little tag. Okay. And I'm going to keep it on my finger so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to add a glue dot to the back. It was on top of the cup. I know. And I moved the cup and I don't know what happened to it. It's like it must have flown underneath something and I can't find it. Okay. So I'm going to take a little piece of the twine and I'm going to stick it on that glue dot there. And then I'm going to bring this over, however long I want it. And then I'm going to add my little tag. Just like that. And actually, there's probably enough of a glue dot left on there that it'll just stick, and it will. There you go. Okay. Then I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of my little flower, and I'm going to add it to the cup right here, the little handle, and then some dimensionals, and we can stick it on there. And I lost my big dimensionals. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Today, you know what? I don't even know why I'm saying today. The struggle bus. I'm always on it. I don't know why. Check the floor. Yeah, it's probably down. Oh, I guess, is it on my sleeves? Nope. Nope. After I get done doing this, then I'm going to go up and have dinner with my husband. And then when I come back down here a little bit later, I'll probably find it. Oh, don't do that. Come on, Barb. All right, so we're going to center this in the middle of our circle. So cute. And then the last thing I wanted to do was bring in these little dots and add a tiny little dot to the center of my flower. Now the big question is, am I going to add a Tahitian tide dot, or am I going to add a parakeet party dot? I don't know. Okay, there is a parakeet party dot. That's cute. But would it be cuter if it was a Tahitian tide dot? I don't know. See if we can get one of those. And there's the Tahitian tide dot. So you guys think green or blue is better? And was there anything in the comments I need to take my time at? I don't think so. Sherry says she likes the green, the parakeet party. You know, I honestly kind of did too. I was when I first pulled these dots out, I thought, oh, a Tahitian tide dot's going to be super cute. But then when I pulled them out, I was like, you know what? We might go with the little parakeet party. Oh, don't do that. You stick on there. Okay, this thing is giving me some fits. There we go. I think most of you were saying the green, so that's good. We're all on the same page here, you guys. Okay, so there is my cute little card. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was adorable. Oh, you know what? I have one sentiment to put on the inside. This says, let's get together soon. So let me stamp that. So again, you guys, thank you again for watching today. I appreciate that so much, and all of your comments and your sharing and liking and all that stuff really helps my channel. If you wouldn't mind subscribing right down here in the bottom corner, then you'll be notified by YouTube when I'm live again, which should be every Thursday night, this same time. Let me push all these things out of the way and bring in our other projects. So here are the actual cards that I made during the show tonight. And then there is an ugly card that I can't find now. I thought I put it over there with this one. Now I can't find it. Well, if you want to see what I think was my ugly card, you'll have to go back in the middle and watch again. So anyways, there it is. Thanks, you guys. Everything that I talked about or whatever, links are in the description of the video. And I will see you guys here next week with all new catalog projects. Yay! So excited. Oh, and look what I just found. Literally sitting right here on my desk. So I don't know if it fell. Maybe it was stuck on my sleeve on my arm and it fell off. But okay, now I can put it back on the other card. Nice. All right. Thanks, you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.